So yeah, it always starts you off like whatever you're doing first. So I should be like, but they got me on there. So let's press record.
Recording in progress.
All right, so we're live here. But I was coughing when it turned on, so it probably started out like, you gotta love it. How are you doing tonight? Since I got everybody on mute. So I got everybody's questions. The takeaways of what you want to take away from this. And I know we'll develop some online. So inbox me if you want to go deeper into this topic. Cool? All right. Here we go. It's March. Sunday. It's not March. It's April Fools. It's April 3rd. Right? It's Sunday, April 3rd. Guess what we talking about today? Following and leading in Babylon versus leading and following during heaven on earth. Following and leading in Babylon. Following and leading in Babylon. And leading and following during heaven on earth. Today is April 3rd, 2022. Here we go. I'm not a follower. This is them speaking. I'm not a follower. I'm my own person. I say, well, I'll just stop at 12 things, right? We'll stop at 12 things. Do you follow, because again, you're not a follower. You're your own person. Do you follow directions? Do you follow the law? Do you follow, if you have a job, do you follow the rules and regulations to keep your employment? Do you follow what you feel? Do you follow your thoughts? Do you follow flow, the flow of your life? Do you follow your zones? Do you follow success? Watch how universal this is. Do you follow in certain footsteps? Do you follow your gut or the gut of others? Do you follow what you hear? Truth or falsehoods? Do you follow what you hear? Yes, you do. Do you follow time? Can you follow wrong time? Wrong time, doing things at the wrong times, or bad timing, or this is not the right time, is following wrong time. So, the $1 billion question is, who are the human leaders that we should be following on top of all these things that all human leaders follow? My leader and I follow it. The $1 billion question is, who are the human leaders that we should be following? We need balance. On top of all the things that all human leaders follow. Because what are your leaders following? Leaders are following these things, but these things are so hard to follow that we should just rather follow the leader instead of following what the leaders are following. Your best tribe is your best health. I didn't say your family. I said your best tribe is your best health. I didn't say your friends. I said your best tribe is your best health. I didn't say the people you grew up with. I said your best tribe is your best health. Jason, go deeper into that. Let me twin drink that. Back then, independence was death. I'm independent. Back then, independence was death. If you were ever separated from your tribe, you lacked the group protection. You could get sick and no one will be there to properly take care of you. And you could easily get murdered being separated from your protection. So check this out. When we are stressed, we release a hormone called cortisol. According to current scientific experiments, we found that being acutely lonely is as stressful as being punched in the face by a stranger. I'm gonna say this again. Current scientific experiments. So this has been experimented upon, but this is not about this, so that's why I don't want to be like, we'll go deeper into that, because trust me, that shocked me. But according to current scientific experiments, we found that being acutely lonely is as stressful. So I didn't say it's the same. And I ain't got no black eye on my face. I didn't say it's the same. I said it's as stressful as being punched in the face by a stranger when it comes to cortisol release. So this is how deeply resistant humans and our bodies are to loneliness. That's your body telling you to get back to the tribe. It's a very important signal. Now again, yeah, you're right. I knew I needed to get back with my family. Get back to your tribe. You're right. I need to call my friends. All right. Get back to your tribe. That's your body telling you to get back to your tribe. It's a fact. So are you a leader or a follower in Babylon or in heaven? Are you a leader or follower in Babylon or heaven? Jason, what are you talking about? Hold on, there we go. The city of Babylon appears in both Hebrew and Christian scriptures. Christian scriptures portray Babylon as a wicked city. And then the Hebrew scriptures tells the story of Babylonian exile, portraying Nebuchadnezzar as a captor. And a famous account of Babylon in the Bible includes the story of the Tower of Babel, which I like to deal with that story. Jason, can the haters speak? Yes, haters. Come on, haters. Come step up. I want to hear what you got to say. Okay, thanks, Jason, for letting me speak. No problem, hater. Here we go. Jason, you can't have heaven on earth. You must wait until you die to experience heaven. And yes, I'm a Christian. Okay, I'll say Matthew 6:10. Matthew 6:10, it says, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Where is thy kingdom come and thy will be done? That's two. In earth as it is in heaven. The hater. You can't have heaven on earth. You gotta die. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is where? In the suburbs? No. In gentrification? No. As it is in heaven. You can have heaven on earth. And again, that's just one scripture. Okay? If you are a leader, are you leading your followers into Babylon results or heaven results? Since now we can have Babylon on earth or heaven on earth. Heaven results are outcomes on the right side of history. So, getting the bag, balling out of control, doing all those things are great, but will it be on the right side of history? Will it be on the right side of history? All the results that you're getting, is it going to be on the right side of history? Having your past actions being on the right side of history means you don't have to apologize for your past behaviors all the time in the future, because your outcomes are a result of being on the right side of history. Where the sentence of I told you so won't need to be said to you. Are you? It won't need to be said to you. Okay, here we go. This is for all the leaders and followers of today. Let me tell you how dangerous it is to be a follower or leader of today. You're not safe on any side if you're on the wrong side of history. Here we go. The I was just doing my job leader. And then there's the I was just doing my job follower. Like you're safe, because a lot of y'all gonna start saying that. I was just doing my job leader. I was just doing my job follower. Okay. You was just doing your job. Okay. You could also have a so-called leadership position in a Babylon country with a Babylon career or a Babylon job. Or you can just be given Babylon power that allows you to make so-called temporary leadership decisions over people's lives and livelihoods. So again, you could be given Babylon power that allows you to make so-called temporary leadership decisions over people's lives and livelihoods. I can make decisions over your life right now. Okay, cool. That's what's up. Some of your so-called leadership decisions made sense in a Babylon society, but those same so-called leadership decisions could get you X'd out when heaven or a duality society comes into power. What do you mean? Well, when Germany was defeated after World War II, many of the Nazi soldiers said, I was just doing my job. Whenever a duality society comes into power, your leadership choices and follower choices will be re-examined in future societies. So make sure that your moves were on the right side of history, because the I was just doing my job statement didn't stop a lot of those soldier leaders and a lot of those soldier German followers from being executed for their war crimes. And we're currently at war, and we have been at war on many different fronts. And when the war crimes reports come out against the current leaders and followers of Babylon societies, it's when the true judges of men will not care about, I was just doing my job, please for mercy. The Nuremberg trials were held by the Allies after World War II against representatives of the defeated Nazi Germany for plotting and carrying out invasions in other countries and other crimes. So I don't care if you're a leader or a follower of leaders that follow knowledge. Don't do anything that you know is not right. And if you don't know, trust your gut. And if you are gutless, or if your gut lies to you, because it might have a Twinkie here and it might have some GMO food here, so your gut might lie to you. You might have a lot of fake stuff in it, and it might tell you lies. Or you misread your gut feelings. Then you must treat your gut experiences. I didn't say feelings now, I said gut experiences like your bank funds. Treat your gut experiences like your bank funds. You must separate the real from the fake ones. Why are you trying to rap for it? Because you really got to treat your gut experiences like your bank funds. Separate the real from the fake ones. Meaning, sometimes you might get it right. That's I got it right gut experience. And a lot of times when you're full of Twinkies and you're full of, foods that don't agree with the human body, that's the fake ones. That's going to be the counterfeit experiences. That's probably a lot of times your fault. So we're currently living in an ongoing world war. This ain't it's a war in my neighborhood. It's a world war. Yeah, the current war no, I ain't talking about that. There's a world war, spiritually, cyberly, and physically speaking. So, have we been locked into a war for a long time with so-called normal people, powerful people, witches, and warlocks co-creating war crimes? We are living in many worlds at one time. Let's take the 3D world and the cyber world. Now, again, let's make sense of this. Really put yourself in this person's shoes. So imagine getting up. As soon as you wake up, somebody's looking at you and staring at you. As soon as you wake up, there's a person staring at you. And then you get in your car and a person's in your car like, and you arrive at all your destinations and the person's just walking, looking at you. And this happens every day. Just following you around every day. Waking up with you every day. At all the stores, the airport, the malls, the woods, dark alleys, in your bedroom, in your bathroom. Now, this all seems like a weird reality in person, but them following you like that online in all stores, airports, malls, woods, dark alleys, bathrooms, seems fine. Oh, they just following me online at all those places. Many so-called leaders had their followers turn on them. So we know that not only is it dangerous being a follower, but danger also comes with many forms of leadership. So it's very, very challenging to lead without vision. Think about it. I'm a leader. What's the vision? What's going on in the NFL? Hopefully everybody goes for that deflection. It's very, very challenging to lead without vision. And do followers follow because they currently lack workable vision? Dr. Miles Monroe said God never gave a vision to a group of people. I'll say it one more time. Dr. Miles Monroe said God never gave a vision to a group of people. And for the people who don't believe in God, do you believe in a download, like a mental download, or a light bulb reality like the cartoons? A lot of y'all can't move until that happens because your assignment creates action. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Your assignment creates action. I don't know who I am. Your assignment creates action. I got a job. Your assignment creates action. So, since I'm talking about the war on the cyber war, smack yourself. Smack yourself. That's basically what they do when you get a phone. You smack yourself every day if you don't deal with it right. You smack yourself with realities. You smack yourself with fear. You smack yourself with all type of stuff that you would have never experienced if you didn't look in the Black Mirror that day. So, how to scroll like a leader. Because I've watched so many people, they do that. They literally be like, time to scroll. And then how to scroll like a follower. Still using your thumbs, but how to scroll like a leader and how to scroll like a follower. The definition of scrolling is the action of moving displayed text or graphics up, down, or across on a computer screen in order to view different parts of them. What happens to your brain when you doom scroll? Doom scroll. Did you say what happens to your brain when you doom scroll? Yeah. Okay. To some, it may seem that there is never, ever, ever, ever any good news anymore. This is, of course, not true, but when you're doom scrolling, spending an excessive amount of screen time devoted to reading negative news, which means you probably accepted or added negative friends that like to share negative news, we become locked into thinking that it is. Doom scrolling can promote feelings of anxiety and depression. Letting you know, a huge cause of depression is doom scrolling. Scroll like a leader. Here's some tips. Tip number 1 to scroll like a leader. Realize that social media is meant to be addictive. It's meant to be addictive. Tip 2, set a time limit. Set your alarm clock to wake up out of it like you do with your general slumber. So with your cyber slumber, trust me, I'm doing an experiment with it. Literally, people's bodies don't move. Their brains move, but so set a time limit like you do with your alarm clock. So you wake up out of it like you wake up out of your general slumber. And then tip 3, create a marketing advertising intern plan for your best solutions to society's problems and the areas you need help. So the attraction of those soon-to-be helpers can possibly be expedited through having a deeper insight of what you need manifested, because these people are already here. You the one need to see them. Their gifts are already in them. You just don't know who they are and where they are. So they might need you more, than. So while the followers is like, well, how do you scroll like a follower? Because I don't plan on ever being a leader. Okay, follower. This is how you scroll like a follower. Tip number 1. Realize that social media is meant to be addictive. You thought I was going to say something new? No, tip 1 for you, follower, is realize that social media is meant to be addictive. Tip 2, follower, set a time limit. Set your alarm, like you set, your alarm clock, so you can wake up out of it like you do with your general slumber. And then tip 3, create a marketing, advertising, and intern plan. Intern means an internship that works perfectly for you. And your plan for bringing best solutions to compatible leaders and, compatible leaders in their so-called problem areas. Like I remember 50 Cent was talking about their one of their web designers for thisis50.com, and he literally called the office, tried to get on. They was like, man, we ain't got no budget. He didn't let that stop him. He looked at their website. It was like, man, that's trash, man. Let me help y'all. I can help y'all here. Smacking whoever did their website in the face. That made them look back and look at the proposal of what he was offering, and they were like, okay, give it a try. He knocked it out, made it easier to scroll through, and then to make a long story short, they said, oh, man, that's cool, man. We'll bring you on. But he created a marketing, advertising, and intern plan for bringing best solutions to compatible leaders' so-called problem areas. Look for problems. That's where the money's at. Look for problems and solutions. Stop trying to look for the money. So, scrolling like a so-called leader when deep down you're nothing but a follower. You are made in God's image. Now again, hear me out on this one. I like this one. You are made in God's image. But when you turn into a jealous little G. Look, you were made in God's image, but you turn into a jealous little G when you get bombarded with all these online human successes. Or you turn scared and lower your vibrations when you scroll through bad news, bad posts, or bad looking pictures. Gotta be able to work through that. What happens in your brain when you doom scroll? What happens in your brain when you do this? There's a downside to the scroll. Social media tends to trigger your limbic system, which deals with your emotional responses, good or bad. Social media may pack more of an emotional punch. So the punch you experiencing is an emotional one. And you're not seeing these people in real life. So stress is known to affect the limbic system in the long term. So if you're having more fights with people on so-called, let's say Twitter, or getting more upset about things you see online, this might be why. Now think about it. I got good energy right now. I feel good right now. Let me get online and then your energy changes, congratulations, whoever created that, it worked on you. Okay? So, this is why. Doom scrolling through news feeds, looking for the latest updates, can also be bad for your brain. Doom scrolling, let's say the University of London noted, and it basically, the University of London noted, this can be a feeling of caught up in an overwhelming current of information. So this is what it's like. Imagine like a big old wave in the ocean just falling on you. They said it's like being caught up in and overwhelmed by a current of information that seems to run out of control. So while doom scrolling may seem like a way to stay informed, it could simply be feeding your brain's stress responses by bombarding it with negativity, prompting it to release cortisol and keep you on edge. A study published in 2021 in Neuron found another explanation for why you can't stop doom scrolling once you start. When you face the choice between learning more about bad news or clicking away, parts of your brain that encourage you, like, come on, continue learning, they start lighting up. So even if the new info is making you feel bad, your brain preference is to know more, instead of turning your phone off and touching some grass. Turn it off and touch some grass. So, that said, social media does have the potential to be used for good. The social interaction that it's providing can be crucial in helping our minds cope with the confusing and worrisome times that we're living in right now. So I know for a fact, social media has been helping a lot of people mentally and emotionally. But doom scrolling endlessly, like, you just may make you a panicky person. And there's no need to throw your phone in the ocean. Just turn your screen time notifications off. Alert yourself. I'm being whacked. Oh, okay, let me turn my... That's what your alarm says. Make it say I'm being whacked. Now again, I make money online. Okay. There's a time where you make money online, and there's a time that you're wasting time online. Set an alarm for the wasted time online. So, imagine walking, trying to follow two people at the same time. Now that's easy if they're going in the same directions, but these two people are walking in two totally opposite directions. Now this type of conundrum could drive a so-called sane person insane, right? Because again, you're following a person going this way and this way. If you even try to do that, you're going to go insane trying to figure something impossible out. Impossible spells are impossible. Get out. Please get away. I'm being sarcastic, but I promise you I'm not. Because if their house is on fire and they call for help and they're like, well, fire spelled backwards is, you would be like, context. I don't need that right now. It's context. So, imagine walking with your cell phone. So if following two people going in different directions, imagine walking with your cell phone and following the hundreds and thousands and millions of people going in different directions. And you would feel insane. But however, we can literally follow the world now. You can follow, think about it. If you literally use social media and say, I'm about to follow everybody in the world, they'll allow you to do that. It doesn't allow you to get followed by everybody in the world, but it allows you to be influenced by everybody in the world, and you can follow all these different people. Go ahead. You're doing that. You're just following all these different people. Go ahead. Yeah. Leaders and teachers are judged with greater strictness. And the book of James 3:1 states that not many of you should become teachers. I like this Bible verse. I like how it just starts off. It said, not many of you should become teachers, for you know that we who teach will be judged with greater strictness, according to James 3:1. But again, it's kind of like, it's general logic to know that not many of you should become teachers, for you know that we who teach will be judged with greater strictness. YouTube is literally allowing everybody to be judged with greater strictness because you can teach. Teach. You're called to teach. Just create it on this platform and just teach. Okay? So if you're lucky enough to have a great teacher, how long does the student stay with the teacher? I like this quote. One repays a teacher badly. Like, thank you, teacher. One repays a teacher badly if one always remains nothing but a pupil. Why would you want to stay with a teacher and not become a teacher? You think your teacher wants you to stay? Come on and follow me forever. What type of lesson plan would your teacher have to say follow me forever versus you become a teacher and the teacher actually co-teaches with you or watches you teach? Like this, with a smile on the teacher's face. Versus, I'm a teacher. Didn't you used to follow so-and-so? No, I'm a teacher now. Well, let me look how the teacher is looking at you. And a lot of times throughout history, the teacher would be looking at the so-called new teacher like, and I didn't like that. So I used to always be like, let me look at the teachers who's actually smiling at this once pupil or student, and let's see if they look on like, that's dope to me. That's dope to me. So if you're lucky enough to have a great teacher, and how long does a student stay with the teacher? And I'm gonna say it again. One repays a teacher badly if one always remains nothing but a pupil. Shout out to the followers. Only, because again, you're always going to lead and follow. I don't care. It never stops. But the followers only, stop. And the leaders only, stop. That means you're closed off. I lead everything. I feel sorry for you. All right, Bruce Lee. Now again, are you properly guided? Bruce Lee said, a teacher is never a giver of truth. He is a guide, a pointer to truth that each student must find for himself. Bruce Lee said a teacher is never a giver of truth. He is a guide, a pointer to the truth that each student must find for himself. Here's a supreme question. Would humans rather follow a person or follow the truth? Friedrich Nietzsche said, there are two types of people in the world. Those who want to know and those who want to believe. I believe. He said there are two types of people in the world. Those who want to know and those who want to believe. Transforming the self. Because again, we're trying to be leaders. Or we're trying to be followers one day, or leaders and followers. And an important key to transforming yourself from a follower to a leader is following truth is learning how to think versus learning what to think. Learning how to think allows one to see the transference. Now we taking shots right now of older depression to younger followers. Learning how to think allows one to see the transference here, younger follower, the transference of older depression to younger followers. Imagine following an older person who loses many battles with depression. Guess what that older person is passing down or transferring to the younger ones or ones following them? Do you understand, understand, and comprehend the current negative attacks set up and carried out against or from many older people. Jason, I don't like the way you talking about older people. You need to respect your elders. No, I respect my elders. I said older people. I said olders. I didn't say elders. I said olders. Oh, okay. I get it. I get what you're doing. This whole time you've been taking shots at older people and not elder people. And I was like, yeah, I respect and I bow down to my elders, like, in respect. Like, my goodness. But older people get on my nerves. Because older people like to slickly say, follow me and trust no one. If you can make sense of that. Shout out to the elders, not the olders. Okay, well, can you give me a definition of older? Yes, between middle age and extreme old age. Used as an alternative to words which may connotate debility and decline. Debility and decline. Well, what's the definition of elder to you? Well, out of the terrible definitions I found, one stated prior or superior in rank, office, or validity. Oh, that's what you think about elders? Yeah. Superior in rank, or superior in office, or superior in validity. Like, you are really valid. Older people, debility, decline. Shout out to the elders. So we have elders and olders mixed up. Hopefully that's separated from people who think I disrespect older users, because I don't follow older users. And if you do follow older users, it's because you have to or you want to. But don't follow the older users until you know when and how to be used, because you're going to get used. So-called people, managers, bosses, employees, lawyers, politicians, boards, groups, teams, families, coaches, speakers, teachers, religions, therapists, pimps, players will use you. If you don't know who you are, where you are from, history, where you are going, future, never ever follow anyone until you have a thorough knowledge of self. A good teacher will leave you one day, and a great teacher will leave you one day. A con artist will leave you when they got you, while the teacher leaves you with the lessons. So feeling your way through the lessons, feeling your way through the lessons of a leader and the knowledge that follows. Feeling your way through the lessons of a leader and the knowledge that follows. The great Nipsey Hussle said, the best teacher in life is your own experience. None of us know who we are until we fail. They say every man is defined by his reaction to any given situation. Well, who do you want to define you? Someone else or yourself? Now, I pride myself on what I'm about to say next, because I purposely sabotage pedestals that people put me on in certain areas that I work in. And I used to think I was weird for that, but until I heard Professor James Smalls, he said he will purposely mess up the pedestals that any of his followers falsely put him on before the authentic future mistakes that he will make that could have his same followers stunned and turning on him. He turns on himself first. Don't be coming like, again, oh my God, you made me feel this certain way about myself. No pedestals for anybody, because that's not fair to them. And I'm scared that anybody who blindly follows other people, because out of the 3 possible eyes, 1, 2, 3, open at least one eye so that your body will be full of enlightenment. Jason, you sounding spooky now. Well, Matthew 6:22, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thy eye be single, well, I got 2 eyes. Well, according to Matthew 6:22, it said, if therefore thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. Well, give me the definition of a follower and a leader. Well, definition of follower that I liked is an adherent. I adhere, or devotee. I devotee of a particular person, cause, or activity. A person who moves, travels behind someone or something. You see, I started off like, well, they're doing that behind someone or something. Now, definition of leader. The person who leads or commands a group, organization, or country. The principal player in a group. If you have any type of a brain, you know life is going to flip and flop. You're going to be a follower sometimes. You're going to be a leader sometimes. You should be scared of anybody that's a follower all the time or a leader all the time. Okay, Jason, I like all these Bible verses that you're giving. Can you give us some more? Well, here goes some leadership Bible verses. Because we need to focus on some leaders. Corporate. So the biblical verses for y'all in corporate America. Corporate backstabbing and gossip are common in a lot of y'all workplaces. Everybody laughs at that. So shout out to the managers and the CEOs and the leaders, because if leaders allow such practices by listening and taking part, then it will only strengthen the negative culture, and it will tear down, if not some, or if not all, your goals. So in 2 Timothy 2:15 through 16, it said, be diligent to present yourself approved to God, a worker who does not need to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, but shun profane and idle babblings, for they increase to more ungodliness. So again, these is corporate scriptures for a lot of that corporate stuff that be going on with y'all. And again, these are light touchings. Now, are you surrounding yourself around counselors that cause many defeats or victories in your life? Now think about it. Social media will see people surrounded by people, right? Okay. Are these people that they're surrounding themselves around, these counselors, are they causing these people defeats, or are they causing these people victories in their life? Proverbs 11:14 says, where there is no guidance, the people fall. But in the abundance of counselors, there is victory. I like that. I got a whole bunch of counselors. Oh, okay. Everybody has a whole bunch of counselors right now. You can create all type of ways to get a whole bunch of counselors right now. Proverbs 11:14, where it says again, where there is no guidance, the people fall. But in abundance of counselors, there is victory. Okay. Do you have access to victorious counselors or victorious counseling or victory counseling? Or do you receive life advice from older, bitter people who ruined their lives and now want to see your life ruined too? So you take it. I was about to get mad and say you take a shot at the elders, but he just gave me the definition of older and elder. Y'all been showing love to older people. Why? You show love to elders. Elders been ruining the work of your elders. Leaders uplift others and hear their constituents' wishes. So again, instead of looking like this, they're looking like this. And they can actually hear. Philippians 2:3 through 4. Let nothing be done through selfish ambition or conceit, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than himself. Let each of you look not only for his own interests, but also for the interests of others. That's like general, duh, but again, that's lost. Or they cut that scripture off. It said, not only for his own interests, but also for the interests of others. And we love to see team sports. So we know what teamwork looks like. But it's like off the court, off the field, off the rink, whatever. It's independence. But in team sports, it's like, we hate that independent person. They're not a team player. But the game's over. Be independent. Beat it in sports. You're not a team player. Team player independence. We're gonna rock with that one. We're gonna do some things with that. Real leaders are open-minded. They don't resist being trained, even if that means being taught by someone lower or in a so-called lower position than them. Luke 22:26. But it is not this way with you, but the one who is the greatest among you must become like the youngest and the leader like the servant. Well, how do you follow someone? Know your path. Jason, I just said, how do you follow someone? Know your path, so you know who to follow. Because following someone will turn into falling for someone, because you may be led by a leader of a path you were never meant to walk on, short term or long term, versus the path that you will walk on and meant to walk on majority of your life. Stop following unhealed leaders and stop letting unhealed followers follow you. Well, if they not healed, that's why they're a follower. Know your path so you know who to follow, because following someone will turn into falling for someone, because you may be led by a leader of a path you were never meant to walk on, short term, long term, no terms, versus the path that you will walk on and meant to walk on majority of your life. So I'm going to close it here. Thank you for joining me for another Sunday Bars presentation. Inbox me if you have any questions. This was a good one. I know I got some questions. So let me stop the recording.
Recording stopped.
All right. Let me know. Let's get it. All right. Thank y'all for joining me. Peace and love.